Hi and welcome to this edition of Out the Box. My name's Paul. Today we're going to be having a look at what is in this huge box. This is the new Ubiquiti AirMax Gigabeam long range. All right, quite a mouthful there. So what is this? This is a device that could give you somewhere in the region of over 1 gig a second over a 2 kilometer distance. So fantastic for point to points. Do have a look online at the specs. We've got some links in the bottom of this video. This uses the 60 gigahertz band, so there's quite a lot of channels available there. So this should be a minimum interference point to point that you can create. It does have a failover option to the 5 gigahertz band as well if you want to. Obviously it'll slow your speed at that point, but it is quite good to be able to have that as a failover option. So there's not meant to be a technical overview. Let me just show you what you do get in the box and we'll go through all the pieces. You are going to get the reflector, all right? The box is way bigger. Actually, this reflector is probably not much difference in size to the reflector on a light beam once it's constructed. All right, so interesting design, lightweight mesh. Got a basic lightweight metal frame to it there, and the actual reflector as well is metal. The concentrator here, this does really make me laugh quite a lot. When you get this out of the box, it does really look like a Ubiquiti engineer went to a local hardware store and thought, I wonder what we can make this look like, and let's make it look like a shower head. So there you go. For those of you who maybe do plumbing as well, don't get as confused when you're putting this together. All right, but we'll come back and show you a little bit more of how this fits together in a moment. On the back here, you have a plate that's fairly difficult to remove. Let me just see if I can do that in front of the video. There we go. All right, so once we've taken this plate off, this is where our Ethernet goes in. Hopefully you can see that. You've also got in there a reset hole as well. On the side of this head, hopefully you can see that. It also has your on-off indicators and some basic signal strength as well for you. But I'll show you how this all fits together in a moment. Let me just clip that there. You're going to get 2 stabilizing arms, which we'll clip on in a moment so you can see how that goes. You are going to get a pole mounting bracket. So the actual, here we go, the actual reflector goes onto this portion here. You will see here on this side, we have a movable. Let me just turn it round here. We've obviously got our grip here, space here for the pole. We get a U-bend which travels through these 2 holes here. And obviously that's going to clamp onto our pole. Let me just show you if that was obviously vertical, not useful, but if it's this way round. And then obviously as a result, we get a level of lateral movement. So that's your up and down vertical alignment that you can do. And obviously you're going to move it on the pole to the right place and clamp it into position. So as a result, you're going to get some locking nuts to go with that to hold that all in place. Now this is a Ubiquiti AirMax product, so do remember this is 24 volts. So you're going to get a 24 volt PoE injector. If you've not seen those before, you're going to get power in this side, LAN in on this side over here, and then obviously you get your PoE out. That's going to be your Ethernet cable that's going to run out to your device, and you will get a power lead. This instance is Australia on this end, and we've got a cloverleaf end over here. Now do remember, if you're going to wire these, let's make sure that we get used to doing a drip loop. What do I mean by a drip loop? Well, if we've mounted this up on a wall, let's not run our cable straight into or straight down into our concentrator. Let's make sure that we always, let me try and hold this a little bit more, we do actually have a loop and come back into it. So let's just show you. So our concentrator is set up in place here. All right, so this is going to mount into this. Let me actually fit that in a moment for you. But obviously we've got our Ethernet cable in here. Let's not just go straight into this or straight down and nicely cable tie it to this, which may be our tendency to do, and cable tie down here. Let's actually make sure that it drops down. Let me lift that up in a minute. It drops down and loops. All right, so it loops out, probably is going to be below your antenna and back into the wall. That means any moisture that's collected up here is actually going to run down and drip off the bottom. The worst thing we can have now is collecting some moisture, run down the cable and that cable track all the way back. We have had instances where moisture over a time has been absorbed all the way down the Ethernet cable right back to the network switch or the PoE injector and blown that. So let's just show you, we're going to start with this, probably one of the simpler ways to do it. So obviously, like I said, you've got your stabilizing heads. Let me just see if I can put these on here. So you're going to clip the first one in place. You're going to click the second one in place. Now I suppose it doesn't really look quite so much like a shower head. Let me just clip that in there so you can see how it goes. It's not wanting to go into place for me so easily. Why is this? There we go. All right, so now I have my whole setup. All right, we're going to take our, I'll just try and balance that there. We're going to take our reflector, all right, and then from in this side here, we can see down at the bottom here, this is where we can clamp in now the portion of our reflector. So let's get these two pieces. Obviously these outsides going to clip in, just show you there. The other outside one here will clip on in place as well. Hopefully we can make that happen. That one's done, that one's done, and then just down in the bottom we can clamp that nicely into place. So it's secure and rigid. That portion's not going to move, as you can see. Just in the back here, hopefully you can see, we also have a final fastening screw that once we've done up, that will hold this whole device connected with it. And then obviously our plate is going to clamp into place. We're going to turn that and lock that into place. All right, and now we are ready to mount that on the pole. Like I said, this gives us lateral movements using that. So obviously, like I said, your Ethernet cable is going to come up into here. You may decide not to cable it down here, or if you do cable it down here, let's just drop off at the bottom with a small loop, just so that we make sure we get a full run off. So hopefully that's been useful. It gives you an idea. Quite a big device, probably difficult to hold all of that up for you. It's not massively bigger. It's obviously deeper than a light beam, but this is queued for what, over 1 gigasecond, up to around about 2 kilometers in range. Fantastically well priced for what it is. Well built. It's going to work in many conditions. So hopefully that's been useful. Hey, do hop on to our YouTube channel. We've got loads more box openings from firewalls, wireless and other networking devices. We've got how-to guides, how to configure AirOS and set up point-to-point connections for these type of devices, or what do I need to run a Unify network. So do subscribe and stay up to date, and hopefully that's been useful. This is the Ubiquiti AirMax Gigabeam Long Range.